Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is of course Sprout here, and I hope you're all having a good day today. Now in this video there's been a lot of talk flying about back and forth on YouTube videos, on Discord, etc. about Diablo Immortal and if it will be pay to win or not. So in this video I'm going to go over my perspective of the topic, and for the most part I'll probably myself be a free-to-play player. Other than perhaps the battle pass, at least. Maybe there's a couple of cosmetic things here and there, we don't know until it comes. But before we get into that, guys, I just want to go through at least two aspects of it in regards to the pay to win. So I'm going to go through the PvE and the PvP. But like I say, before we get into the actual video, my opinions, etc., recommend you do go check out Greg's video on the subject, as he goes into a lot more detail of the pay to win during the beta test. So I will link that in the description down below. I'll use a lot of my points from points he made in that video. But first of all, guys, I want to go through the PvP. So this is pay to win players versus free to play. I'll say it now before I start that there is at least a bit pay to win in the game. If you do watch Greg's video, you'll see what I mean. But we're going to basically go through 4 different scenarios of the pay to win players having an advantage, but also from a perspective of a free to play player, what your outcome, your projected outcome of playing the game is. Now, first of all, you're going to have a lot stronger players than free to play. Now, referencing to Greg's video, the legendary gems are the main thing for pay to win. You can upgrade them a hell of a lot more than a free to play player can, and it will increase your damage and your health. So you're going to have stronger players in PvP matches. Now, if you've got a full team of free to play players and there's one pay to win player running at you all, you're probably going to kill him, which is fine. But the problem then arises if you have pre-made teams of 8 or however many it is, all pay to win players that are all fully advanced. The free to play team is going to lose. I think that's pretty much hands down probably what's going to happen, unless of course the pay to win players are absolutely hopeless at the game. They don't know their class, they just assume they're going to win because they paid for it. You know, it's that sort of thing, and they're going to have higher survivability, they're going to have higher damage, etc. If they know what they're doing, they're going to dominate. And from a free-to-play player's perspective, it depends what you want out of the PvP encounters. Now, if you're just playing for fun, you know, you're just a casual, you're not really bothered about how far you get, how often you win, you just want to experience the PvP experience, it's fine. It's not going to bother you in the slightest. However, if you fancy yourself quite a competitive player, you know you're going to go for the leaderboards, you want to get your name up on that board, you know, show everybody how good you are, you're not going to be able to do this as a free-to-play player. The pay-to-win guys are going to dominate that. So when you come into this game and you think, what am I going to focus on? Am I going to focus on PvP, PvE? If you're going to focus on PvP, that's your main outcome. That's what you want to do with your game time. You're going to have to accept the fact that you're going to lose a lot if you don't spend money. And I don't know how much money yet, guys. There's no way of telling how much you're going to have to spend. But it's one of them things, if you want to be the best on this sort of game, you're going to have to pay for it, unfortunately. Next, guys, we're going to go for PvE. Now, this is obviously player versus environment. This is the dungeons, this is the raids, etc. The main chunk of Diablo Immortal will be PvP. Obviously, PvP will happen, but the general dungeon crawling, etc. action RPG is what it is as a whole. Now, back to Greg's video again. The higher stats are going to play a big part in the PvE gameplay. However, it's not going to affect you in the slightest as a free-to-play player. Now, let's say you go into a raid, a boss raid, one of your party is a pay-to-win player, right? It's not going to affect your loot, it's not going to affect the outcome of the raid, unless maybe the boss might die a bit faster, something like that. But overall, it's looking like a good thing for free-to-play players if they're partied with a pay-to-win player, because they'll help you do it faster. Now, the only downside to the PvE from a free-to-player free-to-play player perspective is the fact that the pay-to-win players will progress faster than you. They will get the higher gear faster than you, and they will generally just, if there's a leaderboard for PvE, you know, first boss skills and stuff like that, they're going to be up top, which is normal for games like this. If you can pay for an advantage, and you will have an advantage. But that's my take on the two sort of things. Now, as a conclusion, guys, I think it really depends on what you want out of the game. If you're going to play casually, you're playing for fun, you don't need to pay. But if you want to be the best, you want to show that you're the best, which doesn't really mirror the fact that you've emptied your wallet into the game, you're suddenly the best. You know, it's not necessarily you're the best player, you've spent the most sort of thing, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. But yes, that's the top and bottom of it. There is pay to win in the game according to the beta test. I don't know how much they've nerfed that or changed that before global release on June the 2nd. So we'll have to wait and see just how severe it is. But like I say, casual players, you'll still enjoy the game to the full extent. Competitive players, you're going to have to probably empty some money into the game to really compete with everybody else. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I'd love to know your thoughts on this in the comments. What do you think of the pay to win? Do you think it's going to ruin the game, or do you think it's just going to be an everyday part of it, as with a lot of other games? I'd love to know your thoughts on the subject. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will be playing this game. I will be making a guild. I will be live streaming, etc. Making guides, etc. as a free-to-play player. So if you're not going to, you know, empty your wallet in, you need some tips and stuff, make sure you stop by, have a look once the game does come out. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.